Hello, my name is Richard Gillespie. Welcome to Perspectives. This is a series of videos that I've put together to discuss relevant topics and to try to bring them into a better overall perspective. Today I would like to talk about energy, and in particular solar and wind energy, whether these things are sensible or not. So let's get right into it. The solar and wind energy plants that we see today started being put together in the early part of the 21st century. So they're less than 25 years old. Wind turbines, whether people know it or not, have a lifetime of 25 years. So each one of these wind turbines that you see going up has to be replaced in the 25-year period. Within that 25-year period, there is a lot of maintenance that has to be done on these devices, mechanical, electrical, and also structural changes. And it's much more difficult to dismantle these things than it is to put them up. So when you look at the price or the cost of a wind turbine, you have to look at the price of, first of all, procuring it, secondly, putting in the foundations, erecting it, putting it together, and then all the maintenance costs on the ongoing costs that it has over its lifetime, and then in 25 years the cost to take it down and dispose of it. And all of that cost has to be worked into the price per kilowatt hour that these devices contribute. The bottom line of all of this is that wind and solar are intermittent, and they can only be supplemental to the grid. They can't replace the grid. In fact, they can't replace any of the grid. They can contribute in a very minor way, but the question is whether or not they make any sense. And let's just say this: that unless they can replace coal-fired plants or a nuclear plant or a gas-fired plant, if they can't replace a plant, then why do we need them? They're just expensive items that may reduce a little bit of the fossil fuel we burn, but not very much, because we still have to run the plant to keep the basic grid alive. So if we're not really saving any fossil fuels by using wind and solar, then where's the payback? Why do we use them at all? And this is the question that I've been thinking about. Why should we be spending trillions of taxpayers' dollars on wind and solar when they're not going to contribute in any significant way to the overall grid? And they're not going to reduce in any significant way the burning of fossil fuels or nuclear fuel. If we had taken that money and spent it on fusion, or if we had built some thorium reactors, I'm just thinking out loud here. I don't know enough about thorium reactors to know why we haven't been building them already, but it seems to me that a thorium reactor is maybe one of the answers for the long run. It's a safe process, and we can use spent fuel from a fission reactor. You can burn in a thorium reactor and end up with fuel that's has a much shorter half-life. So why are we spending the money on solar and wind? It's making a few people rich. It's contributing nothing, and it's going to be obsolete. We have to replace it every 25 years. And it's an expensive thing to replace, and it's not contributing enough to make it really viable in any case. So I say, let's forget about solar and wind and concentrate on things that will actually work to produce enough energy. Take that money, make those processes clean or better, or new processes, it probably won't be very long before we have working fusion reactors, which will also, completely eliminate the need for any of these other processes. But in the meantime, I don't see any big reason why we shouldn't be building thorium reactors and take the money that we're foolishly spending on solar and wind that is not going to contribute to our well-being in any meaningful way. Just stop that altogether. We've been sold a bill of goods, and it's just foolish what we're doing. So that's my perspective. You may or may not agree with it, and I may or may not be right, but that's the way I see it. Thanks.